Start recording. Yeah. Any questions? Any doubts? Okay. So last time we discussed about tables, and we already know how to create reusable blocks, loops, and all in Tosca. Right. So today we are going to discuss about a different section, that is test case design. Before that, let me check out this modules. Yes, test cases, and then I will open a different section, that is test case design, and I will dock it here. Okay, what is test case design? Why do we use this? So we know we are creating reusable test step blocks, right? And if you look at this test case, this is full of reusable test step blocks. But how did we pass the data here? We hard coded it. Am I correct?
Yes.
So instead of directly passing the data over here, we will use some sources. Okay. For suppose, take the registration. Okay. In registration, think like you have 5 different test cases. Okay. Where you will be registering 5 different users. Okay. And then the entire process is same. Okay. Only thing is the data is different for 5 different users. Okay. Then if you are following this methodology, this test case methodology and passing the data here, okay, what will happen? You have to create all 5 different test cases, and every time manually you have to change the data and all. Am I correct?
Yes.
So instead of doing this, we have a concept called template and instances. What is template? What is instances? See, template is something which holds everything. Okay. And instance is nothing but the one which we are going to run. Means, for suppose, if you take login scenario as an example. In login, you will have different test cases. It could be successful login, it could be valid, invalid, invalid, valid, some password thing we will change. So there are around 5 to 6 test cases, okay, which are related to error. And in addition to them, we have the successful login also. So instead of creating these many test cases individually, what we do is we create a template. This template will have all scenarios sitting inside it, all conditions sitting inside it. And now, based on this template, we will pass data either through test sheet or through Excel sheet for this template. And based on this data and the template, we will start creating test cases. I will show you. This might be bit confusing while you listen and all. It will not be understandable. I know that. Okay, don't worry. I'll show you what is template, what is test sheet and all. Just bear with me. Today and tomorrow you might be bit confused, but by end of tomorrow's session you will be pretty much clear. Okay? Now let's go to Tosca Commander. First, let's see what is test case design and all. So if you right click over here, there is an option to create folder. So let's create a folder first. And if you right click on your folder, See, there is some calendar sheet sort of an icon. If you mouse over, it says create test sheet. Shortcut is Control N, Control T. Okay, so click on this. See, it is a test sheet. For suppose, let's take the login on. Say login example. Okay, so this is a test sheet. This test sheet has some attributes inside it. Just remember the terminology today. Okay, this, if you right click on your test sheet, you can see a red color square icon. That is nothing but attribute, we call it. For suppose, whatever the parameters we want, we will create attributes for them. We want user ID and also we want password for login, right? So these are the two parameters that we usually need. So these are the attributes here. Okay. And now coming to the attributes. These are the parameter names. They have values, right? Like it could be ramya.tosca@gmail.com or else ramya@gmail.com. Different sets of values, right? So all those values we call them as instances, and these instances can be created at attribute level, test sheet level, and all. Okay, in our first, let's see how to create instances at the attribute level. So right click on your attribute and see create instance. Click on this. So here you can just say ramya.tosca at gmail.com, something. Similarly, if you right click, you can create another instance also, something oreo at tosca.com. You can create as many values as you want. And the next one is password. For this also we can create instances. If you click on the other icon, right, it is nothing but create instances from values. Okay, you, because we have different ways of creation of these attributes and their instances, so we will discuss about them later on. But even this one will create instances for you. Okay, see the same way. I click and create. Okay, so these are, until here, am I clear to everybody? We just created one test sheet. Inside the test sheet, we started creating attributes, and for the attributes, we started creating instances. Any questions?
No, Ramya.
Okay, so now we are good. Now, the next thing is not only the attributes, test sheets will also have instances. Okay, if you right click and create instance on this test sheet, what are these test sheet instances means? What are the test cases that we want? For suppose in our login as we discussed, one is successful login, right? So say successful login. And another one is right click instance, some valid username, invalid password. Okay. And another instance would be invalid username, valid password. Okay. And the next one would be both are empty username and valid password. Some examples. Okay. And now, after creating instances to your test sheet, if you click on your test sheet, you will see it in this way. And all you need to do is select the values here. Think like Ramya is a valid username. So for successful login, Ramya and test. Similarly, the next one is valid username, so Ramya.Tosca, but invalid password, right? So because of this invalid password, okay, let's say something. This is a invalid password. The next one is invalid username. So something at the rate of gmail.com. Even this is an invalid username. So this one and valid password. So select valid password here. And the next one is empty username. So don't pass anything. Valid password. So valid password. So this is how we play around. For so now what will happen is when we use this test sheet, these four test cases will be created with these details. I'll show you that. Don't worry. So any doubts, any questions until here?
So for test case instance, we are not entering any values. Only for the user ID and password, we have created values, and we are against the what a login example. We are giving the values for it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
See, everything we have multiple ways to do all these things. I'm showing you the very, very basic thing. Okay.
Okay.
Because I want all of you to understand this concept first, only then I can discuss about the remaining things. Now, until here we are good, right? So now let's really go to demo web shop. Create one dummy test case. Do we have something for login? Yes, we have. What are the parameters it need? Okay, cool. So let's drag it and drop it here. Okay, let's move it to invert. And see, these are the parameters it need. Email ID, password, remember me, forgot password, login. Right. So these values it needs. So see, sometimes until now we saw how to create attributes manually. Right. We right clicked on our test sheet and we created them. The other way to create attributes is go to that respective module. For suppose if you take this example, I'll first say Control J. It will take me to the respective reusable block. And here these are the business parameters I need to pass. Where are those? All those parameters are passed in this step, right? So now if I do a Control J again, it will take me to the module. Okay. So this is the module. So all I can do is select the attributes from the module, drag them and drop them on the test sheet. Even this is fine. See, even then the attributes are created for me. Email ID, password, remember me, forgot password and all. And what will happen when I drag it and drop it from the module is the instances will be created for me. How are these instances created? What are these values is? See, we have a column called value range here. See, so whatever value is present in the value range, automatically those values will be created as instances over there. For suppose if you take login, it has only click. Forgot password, it has click and right click. So see, login it will have only one instance, that is click. Whereas forgot password will have two, that is click and right click. See, now I am deleting this user ID and my old thing. Okay, so this is one way of creation of attributes. The other way of creation of attributes is, for suppose if I don't have these parameters in the module, so how do I do it? I can either manually create it or else select the business parameters from the reusable block. Not only here, you can select it from here also. from the test case also. Select them, drag them, and drop them. But here also value won't be created. See, the instances are not created because there is no value range, right? So that's why the instances are not created. Always we prefer taking them from the modules because instances will be created. So that is the reason why we prefer attributes like from the modules. So now if you take the same thing, login. So these are the different data that we need to pass. For email ID, okay, one second. Okay. So first let us see that. Okay. So this is the valid email and valid password. So now let's open our demo web shop and list out the scenarios first of all. Okay, for the login. This is username, password, and select details. If it is a valid username, valid password, then it is a successful one, right? Successful login. The second one is invalid username, valid password. So then I don't know what error comes up. We need to see. Similarly, valid username, invalid password. Let's see. Empty username, valid password. Valid username, empty password. Invalid username, invalid password. So I think these are pretty much right. Now let's have a look at the scenarios from here. Like I'm saying login. So what is my first scenario? First thing I am saying invalid username, valid password. So let's pass some invalid username and valid password and say login. So I got this error. Login was unsuccessful and no customer account found. So I'm copy pasting that error message here. Okay. The next one is valid username, invalid password. So coming to valid username, this is a valid username. And coming to the invalid password, yes, I gave some invalid password. And now I'm saying login. So it says credentials provided are incorrect. Let's copy that error, right click and paste it here. The next one is empty username but valid password. So empty username but valid password. No customer account found. Copy this error, come back here, right click and paste it. Next one is valid username and empty password. So say Ramya.496 and in the password nothing and just say login. Credentials provided are incorrect. Copy this message and right click and paste it here. The last one is both are invalid. Okay. Seen the same. No customer account found. Copy this message and paste it here. So now we got some scenarios where we'll be passing valid details, invalid details and all. So now let's create a test sheet for these scenarios. Okay. So let's go to Tosca and say successful login. After successful login, what is the test sheet that you have? Let us compare it in this way. Okay. So the next one is invalid username, valid password. So I'm dragging it and dropping it here. Next one is valid username, invalid password, empty username, valid password. In addition to this, valid username and empty password. And the last one is both are invalid. Am I clear, everybody? Any questions? Any doubts?
No, Ramya.
Okay. So now, what are the possible values of email? Will it be click, double click and right click? No, right? We need to pass either valid email or invalid email or
Input.
empty.
Input.
Valid or invalid or some empty. So for valid, this is a valid email, right? For invalid email, it would be something like this. And I'm deleting the last one. See, you can create new instances, but I just renamed the existing instances and deleted the unnecessary ones. Okay. The next one is password. For password also the same way. Just click for multiple times until rename is enabled and just remove it. The same way how we do for test cases and all. Password, what is a valid password? Test it 1, 2, 3. What is an invalid password? Something like this. And now delete the remaining. We are not using this remember me forgot password, so let them be there. And for login, we will pass only click. So now let's say, go to this.
Ramya,
Yeah,
for login, you have clicked, you made instance as click, right? So can I give X here?
sorry.
For login, you said instance as click, right?
Yes.
Can I give X here?
Yeah, you can.
And for email, you change the instance from click to ramya.496 at the rate. So while passing these values in the this test sheet, so this won't change the property of click or double click or right click, all these things.
This is
Because
only
we copied from modules, right? So that's why I was asking.
no, no, nothing like that. See, these are just values. One way
Okay.
is delete them totally and create new one. Okay, or else if you, I just renamed it because they are already created and they are available, right?
Okay.
Whatever name we give, it will take that name. That's all.
Okay.
Now let's give this data here. For the successful login, it should be Ramya and test. So both. And login would be click, right? For the invalid username and valid password, what is the username for invalid? The stupid one. And valid password means tested123. Similarly, valid username. So Ramya, invalid password. So some stupid one. Next is empty username but valid password. This one is valid username. So this but empty password. And this one is invalid username. Yeah, done. And invalid password. So select this. And for all these, login is click. Okay. So instead of doing all that, go to test case design menu. Here you have an option, fill empty values. Click on this. Say specific value. That is click. See in this drop down you will have. Say okay. See it has filled out for me. Now until here am I clear to everybody? Any questions? Any doubts?
No.
Clear, Ramya.
Okay. So this is one thing. Now we need to discuss about the error messages and all. Okay. But it's okay. Let's see in this way. Now let us create in our test case. Now come back to test cases section. We have login, right? So we need to map this test sheet with this login. Am I correct? So in that scenario, first you have to convert this login into a template. So how do we do that is nothing. Right click and say convert to template. So now look at the icon. First let's mark this as completed. It will be clear. See, look at the icon of test case now. It is a just one arrow mark which went round, right? So right click and convert to template. And see now a T icon has come up there. That means this is a template. And now if you observe, you cannot execute a template. See, run in Scratchbook is disabled. If you right click also, you won't see that option here. You can convert it back to normal test case by clicking on convert to test case. Yes. See now it is a test case. Now you will have the run in Scratchbook option. You can convert it back to template. Convert to template. Did you understand this?
Ramya,
Yes.
you said when the work state is completed, then only we can do, or in any
No,
work
you
state?
can do it anytime, but
Okay.
I don't want you to miss this icon because of that black colored one. Okay. So, for suppose, let me right click convert to test case. I'll show you. And now change this to in work. See, right click convert to template. See, there is a black icon and also this T icon, right?
Yeah.
So that is the reason I did in that way. So it will be clear to everybody. Okay. So now after converting it to template, now we have to map it with this. So for mapping and all, don't worry much. Drag this test sheet. Okay, not folder or something. Drag the test sheet, drop it onto your template. And now see all your business parameters changed their color and there is something in their value that is Excel of. This is nothing but the reference. Sometimes these references will be created most of the time they will be created automatically. Sometimes they may not be created. Think like for your remember me, it is not created. So now it is in still the light blue color, right? So then you can drag it. This is the remember me, right? So drag this attribute and drop it on this business parameter. So they will be mapped. Now we mapped everything. Okay. So now the next step is to right click and here there are three dots, right? Three dots and say create template instance, or else here there is a direct button, see instantiate. You can click on that also, anything is fine, both are same. So it will ask you, shall I start instantiation? Just say yes. See, a folder has been created, template instance of login. If your template is in work state, all your test cases will be in work. If your template is in completed state, then all your test cases will be in completed state. We have our template in work, so all our test cases are in work. Now let's look. For successful login, what is the data that we thought of? This one. Am I correct?
Yes.
For invalid username and valid password, what is the data? See, invalid username, invalid password. Valid username, invalid password. See, valid username and invalid password. So, and also, these are the test cases. These test cases names, where did it get it from? Total we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 test cases. So, these 6 test cases are nothing but the instances of my test sheet, right? And depending on the combinations of data we gave here, same way we got the test data here for the reusable block. Now did you understand the whole drama I was doing?
We'll have to practice to
Yes,
say we understood.
yes, that is for sure. But is it okay?
Yeah.
Can you link the things now? All we did is we started creating test sheet. In test sheet, we started creating attributes and their instances. And coming to the attributes creation, we can do it manually, or else we can drag them from the modules, or else we can drag them from the business parameters. Only difference is if we drag them from the modules, depending on their value range, the instances will be automatically created, or else we have to create the instances. Okay, that is done. Now all the instances and for the attributes are created. The next thing is create instances for the test sheet also, depending on the test cases that you want. And now come back, just give the appropriate data across the test sheet. Come back to test cases. Convert the test case into template. Now go to your test sheet, drag it, drop it onto your template. So now go to test cases menu and click on instantiate button. It will ask you yes or no. Say yes. So then automatically this folder will be created. Am I clear with this?
Yes, Ramya. One thing is we create libraries for reusable blocks, right?
Yes. And we
Okay.
create reusable blocks inside library.
Yeah. And business instance, why we create to get the reference, we get the reference there also. Here also, Excel reference we are getting. There we get some P something, right? Reference For business
PL of.
PL of. Okay, what is this PL and what is this Excel? Excel is like data driven, you're saying, right?
See, don't get confused. This PL, here we are mapping this business parameter with this value.
Okay.
When we want to map something with business parameter, we use PL of.
Okay.
Okay. Here you are mapping test sheet with your business parameters.
Okay. What
So
are actually business parameters?
what are business? Why do we need to create business parameters?
I mean, coming to here, that is little confusing. To create reference, sorry,
Not
reuse.
see. I said you one example that day. If you take an URL, right,
Yeah.
and whenever we change the value, if you are hard coding the value inside reusable block, whenever we change the value, what happened? It changed every time, right? Whenever we changed.
Yeah.
So
Correct.
instead of using one single hard coded value, we want to pass different values for it. So that is the reason why we created business parameters.
Okay.
Okay. And then we created this test case also for that.
Yeah.
Am I clear until this point, everybody?
This Ramya.
Ramya, one question.
Yes.
Uh, is it compulsory to create template or without template can we run directly to this scenario?
No, no, we cannot.
So every time we need to create template and we mapped it and then we will run, right?
Yes.
Why we are not running directly without template?
Then you should run it in this way. You need not create any test sheets and all. If you want to map it to some data source, then you need to convert to template. Okay?
So real time, if this scenarios come means more than 5 to 10
In
test
real time,
cases.
always we use these scenarios.
Okay, okay.
Okay? But when practicing, usually some other institutes, or if you are practicing on YouTube, some people who do it locally, they don't know this and they will be practicing either on this, okay, where they will be hard coding their test steps without using reusable blocks, and some people use reusable blocks but they hard code their values in this way. But in real time, these two are not the cases. This is the case.
Okay.
Any other questions? Any doubts? No? I will stop it here today. I don't want you to take too much of stress and all. Please practice until this point, is what I request. This
Yeah,
is a
sure.
very important section, and lots of interview questions come up from this section, test case design. If they are really if most of the companies really ask tough questions from this section only. So please practice, don't miss. Okay? And tomorrow let's discuss about the same thing. Like, it's not like just login, right? We have to validate these error messages and all. So let's discuss the complete case and then close this. Okay?
Okay, Ramya.
Now you can run these instances, but don't run them for today. Don't keep any runs and all. Okay, just create and see everything is fine or not. I'll tell you, there is some more thing that is left. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for showing. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.